Octane has helped more than 670 companies raise over $2.8 billion in funding and create more than 17,000 jobs since it started in 2010. Now, the company is building SoCal by driving innovation and growth, connecting people and resources and capital. And with me is the CEO, Bill Carpou. Great to see you again, back in the studio.
Great to be back, Jay.
It is awesome, right?
In the studio.
We did a couple Zooms, I think.
We did.
So great to have you back, and great to see you in New York. So.
It's great to be in New York. Little different.
It's a little, yeah. We're coming back. So now I know that Octane launched a new fund. So I'd talked to a couple of the fund managers about that. Tell me a little bit more about that. What is that new fund all about?
Yeah. So the new fund is Elevation Ventures, and you know, we initially were looking at it to focus on companies coming out of our accelerator, and we've really pivoted over the last 2 months and said, hey, let's really focus on something that's important today, and it's technology that enables sustainability of the environment, the climate, and you know, we see almost 50% of the companies coming through our accelerator that have some type of technology that's enabling that. So similar to what we did with Visionary Ventures, which focused on ophthalmology in 2015, you know, it's picking something that's really got a lot of momentum around it, and you know, as we see those companies really being able to build scale and growth and impact.
So now, before, were you just kind of helping these companies network with capital, fundraise, and then once they got to a point you were like, okay, fly on your own, but now you're taking a piece of some of them that you think, right?
Well, yeah, so generally our accelerator is supported by the SBDC, and our accelerator gets them to a point that they're ready for and prepared for institutional funding, and that's really where that process ends. And you know, I think one of the things that we've talked about before is our OES platform, Octane Enterprise Solutions, and that enables companies now you know, really help grow, and we apply capital resources and access to expertise that will really help them grow and get to that next level up the revenue curve.
And then what makes Elevation Ventures unique?
You know, Elevation Ventures, the uniqueness is the focus on an industry, but it's really the enablement of the technologies for climate. So, you know, it's not necessarily investing in a turbine company or a solar company. That could be, but it's the semiconductor company that perhaps makes the sensors, or the battery company that makes the components for electric vehicles and autonomous vehicles.
The picks and shovels.
The picks and shovels and all of that. So, you know, that's the uniqueness, and we've got somebody leading that's got deep expertise, and you know, as we did with Visionary, choosing very wisely on a leader that's got industry expertise as well as fund management expertise. Okay.
Now you've also got something, Healthsocalai. And that's something new, right? I don't think since the last time we talked. So what is that?
Yeah, so you know, Jane, you know us. I mean, we continue to juggle a lot of different initiatives, and this was more along the lines that when we looked at it, we said Southern California's got a great ability to be an AI hub. It's got the university infrastructure, it's got the technologies, whether it's cyber on the tech side or any type of medical device. And so, you know, we thought that let's put a coalition together that could really help drive artificial intelligence and create Southern California as a global hub. So in that, we've kind of stepped back and said, let's really focus it on health. And so there's actually two parallel paths. And one deals with what is really Octane's core competency is let's create more AI companies, let's match them up with expertise, let's match them up with capital and funds. And the second is really more aspirational, is how do we help the problems of health equity? More importantly, how do we create the metrics and the comparisons that take Southern California, and this really becomes aspirational, and make it the healthiest region in the world at some point in the future. That's probably generational, but it really leaves behind a generational legacy. So it's going to be utilizing AI to drive health inequities and you know, a better level of healthcare across the region. And really, we want it to branch out to be globally and nationally also.
Sure. Now, you mentioned the Octane Enterprise Solutions. So, you have an update on that?
We have new leadership in that, and you know, we've kind of made some changes in terms of in terms of what's important to us in that. So the process itself, we gain more and more clients that are part of that platform. each month, and it's really starting to take off.
Yeah, and then I know you at least used to have a lot of events in person.
Yeah.
I know you did some virtually as well. I attended a couple of them. So, where does that stand? What's the next one? Are you doing hybrid? Like, how's all that look for you right now?
Yeah, and so we're kind of at this point right now, not anticipating any effect from Delta and all, and so we did come back. And did our first in-person event in July. It was our ophthalmology event, and it was incredible. I measure things not just by the content and what people say, but the buzz and the amount of people that were there. It was standing room only. Everybody was just enthused to be back and everything. So our next event is actually one that you emceed 2 years ago, which is our High Tech Awards, which is an award dinner. And then at the end of October, the 27th, 28th, and 29th, we have our MedTech conference, which the theme of that this year is healthcare advanced. It's really taking a lot that we've learned over the past year, and how do we move healthcare? And I mentioned before inequities and equity, and bringing that. Population health, precision medicine, and we're fortunate. I mean, two people that are that are frequent guests here. I guess would be Omar Ishrak, who's the former CEO of Medtronic and the chairman of the board of Intel, and Brent Saunders, who is the CEO of Allergan. They'll do an opening session on SPACs, and so there's a lot of momentum and a lot of capability around that right now. So we're enthusiastic, and everything we do at this point going forward will be hybrid. And what we found was we reached a wider audience. So people want to come back. We know that they do. So we're going to serve that population, and then be able to reach a more global base through the.
Oh, sure. And I appreciate being able to watch some of the events, online. So it was, I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of that.
Yeah, and someone told me something really interesting that's really stuck with me is that, and this was a little bit over a year ago as we were getting into this, getting into our event season, and they said, Octane's not an events company, you're a content provider, and really act like one, and that's what we've taken to heart. And so our content can be viewed and streamed during an event if you don't happen to be there, but more importantly, it can be accessed on demand at any point in time in the future. Oh,
interesting. Well, great to see you again, Bill, in
person.
And best of luck as we move forward here. So,
well, we'll all move forward together. Thanks
you.
a lot, Jane. Great seeing you.